Hey, you sexy monkeys, welcome back to Sky Gene Experience. We are doing a franchise rankings of all five of the Die Hard movies.
What are you doing?
From 1988 to 2013, there will be five films produced, all with Bruce Willis as the main, iconic John McClane. What makes a Die Hard movie is, of course, Bruce Willis, his humor. A villain, you have a strong villain, and he has to have a plan. And the plan has to have a front in it, some kind of cover up. Die Hard movie, the first one was so iconic, they even created a sub-genre for it. One of the latest movie was Skyscraper with Neve Campbell from Scream and The Rock. Yeah. Fuck, dude. I remember playing this on PS1 back in the day. I remember that. That was fun.
NYPD! Hey, this is my jurisdiction.
Overall, though, I absolutely love the Die Hard franchise. Really, there's only really one bad one. The rest are all great, solid action fucking movies. And I hope they can come out with something new, something awesome. We need another Die Hard. We need Bruce Willis. One more before he goes, man. One more. All right, guys. We're going to jump right into this. Remember, I start from the lowest to the highest. So I have five movies coming in fifth place. It is your 2013 A Good Day to Die Hard, directed by John Moore, and I give it a Sky Gene score of a 5 out of 10.
What? Это Москва! Не будет Станция! Do you think I understand a word you're saying?
Well, this is the fifth and last movie so far in this franchise, and the plot really is John McClane, Bruce Willis, his son Jack is in Russia, and John McClane goes to try to see what's up. In the middle of it, his son breaks out, and Bruce Willis catches up, and then realizes his son is part of a CIA cover-up, and they're in the middle of Russia, Moscow, and the whole time they're just trying to dodge bullets from the Russians. It's really simple. Reasons why this last place? Well, the plot is so confusing, and this movie is just blah. It's boring. It's no good character depths. It's just an okay action flick. You have the worst villain of all five movies. Your CGI is the worst of all five movies. Your storyline is the worst of all five movies. And it seems like an action movie kind of dies out when you kind of add the Russian CIA shit into it. Stereotype, kind of like in not action, but horror movies when you go to space. It's kind of like you just ruin your franchise. In action movies, it's kind of like when you do that with the Russians. The cinematography, I did not like the filter in this. It was very bluish. It did not work. It did not work. And you just you do random shit out of nowhere. You're in Chernobyl, and then there's some Russian guy with his shirt off. 3/4 of the way the movie being introduced, pretty much just badass motherfucker. Where'd you come from? Did I miss him being in the movie? Overall, it's just an A-okay movie. It's just an A-okay. And to be honest, this is really the one and only A-okay movies, because the other four, love them. I mean, you killed off Cole Hauser. Why the fuck you do that, man? You killed off Cole Hauser. Yeah, Rip from Yellowstone. Jai Courtney, he was solid though. He was a great actor in this, and it was the very ending of this movie was really cool to see. Bruce Willis, his character John McClane with the two kids, Jack and Lucy. That was a nice little moment. Just in case Bruce Willis never comes back, it does end off on a happy note, even though it doesn't have Holly, his wife. Oh well. Alright guys, coming in at fourth place. This was really tough because this and another movie, they were really close. But this is coming in at fourth place. Your 1990 Die Hard 2.
Oh man, I can't fucking believe this. Another basement, another elevator. How could the same shit happen to the same guy twice?
This is a sequel to the first movie, and this will come out 2 years after the first movie came out. Unlike the first movie, where it took place in a tower in LA, This is at airport in Denver. So it was a nice mix. It's a different atmosphere. I enjoy this movie a lot. I mean, I give it a 7 out of 10 for a Sky Gene score, a 7 out of 10. And I'll give you the reasons why. I thought the villain was solid. I thought he was really, really good. Even his villains, the bad guys itself, the whole crew, I thought was nice. I mean, you got Robert Patrick, the T2 Terminator in this movie, just before his career took off. You have the same humor, the tone, the atmosphere, the setting as the first movie. This is really the only movie in the whole franchise that caught the first movie, the same vibe. It really felt the most like the first movie. Even the way it's filmed, it looks identical. You get a bunch of eye candies in this. Yeah, the opening scene. Ooh. And that chick at the airport when he's doing like the fax machines. You get your Christmas vibe, just like the first movie. You get a hell of a shootout scene with the SWAT guys and the bad guys when they're pretending to be the painters. It holds up. Really solid action shootout. And you also get little spots of cameos with people from the first movie. For example, you have the police officer from the first movie. He's receiving the fax. So you got that. You have the reporter from the first movie and the wife of John McClane. They're on the airplane together. So you have that also. Really, the only thing I didn't like about this movie was the snow was so goddamn fucking fake. So in this movie, they had fake snow. It was all complete fake snow. And a lot of times, for example, that scene when that bad guy finally lands and he's just about to walk out of the airplane, he grabs his gun, and that fake snow looked like coconut. It cracked me up like shredded coconuts. Yeah. Overall, though, like I said, I give this a 7 out of 10. I absolutely enjoy this movie. It's fantastic. Great movie. All right, guys, coming in at third place. It is with a 7 out of 10 Sky Gene score, your 2007 Live Free or Die Hard. Directed by Len Wiseman, which is the 4th installment in the franchise. And it came 12 years after the 3rd Die Hard movie.
Okay.
Undo everything you just did.
No! Okay. I'm a righty. I need my other hand, I really do. I'm a righty.
Just a couple small things I want to say I don't like about this movie before I really get into the positives. There's that scene where he's on the jet, the CGI, like, I get it. That shit sucks. Really bad. And the fact that John McClane, he survived so many things in this movie. Where it's like, man, the third one really pushed it, but this one, you really went too far. Besides that, I've always enjoyed this movie from the start to the finish. I thought this was the funniest movie in all 5 movies. Yeah, the first one has the best one-liners, but overall, I laughed the most in this, hands down. Justin Long is the reason why, and him and Bruce, their chemistry, fuck, you get some funny moments out of that. I love it.
Did you see that? I saw it, I did it.
And you by far have the biggest threat of all 5 movies when they really go like USA wide. It's nice because they really go out of just one town. They traveling to other states, which was nice. You have a solid casting throughout this whole entire movie. Timothy Olyphant is your villain, and he's a pretty solid villain. Justin Long, like I said, he's in it. Maggie Q, oh my God, she can just marry me right now. Cliff Curtis is solid as fuck. Jonathan Sedrowski, yeah, I did not pronounce his name correct. He is the guy on the Friday the 13th remake in the beginning when he does that Jason speech. Yeah, he's kind of like the nerd bad guy in this. Pretty cool dude. Kevin Smith, he plays Warlock in this. Nice little speech, man. Not bad. But Mary Elizabeth Winston plays Lucy, the grown-up daughter of John McClane, and she has a good role in this movie. Coming in at second place with a Sky Gene score of an 8 out of 10 is your 1995 John McTiernan's Die Hard with a Vengeance. This movie is the 3rd film in the franchise, and it's 5 years after the second movie. I absolutely love this fucking movie. Hands down, Absolutely love this movie. Of all the Die Hard movies, I've seen this the most out of all of them, and I'll tell you why.
Hey, fellas, Mickey O'Brien, Teamsters Treasurer, Local 13, fucking...
Still rolling, thank you. Here we go.
Hey, fellas, Mickey O'Brien, Teamsters Treasurer, Local 3, fucking 17. You got a lot of film there?
When I think of a yellow taxi cab, I think of Die Hard 3 instantly. How they shot all around New York City, for example, Central Park, Brooklyn Bridge, the JFK. You see the World Trade Center a couple times and they really focus on that. The Yankee Stadium, they're everywhere in this place. It's incredible shooting. They even drove down Central Park. Like, that's legit Central Park. Your villain is almost just as good as the first movie and is played by Jeremy Irons, and I absolutely love Jeremy Irons. And he's Hans Gruber's brother from the first movie, and that is brilliant connection to the first. I love that shit. For once, we actually get to see John McClane in his home territory of New York City, because in the first movie he was in LA, second one he was in Denver, and the fourth one he is, driving around DC, West Virginia, picking up people, and then the fifth one he's in fucking Russia. So this one he's actually in New York, so people is actually on his side. But the only thing I don't like about this movie is the way John McClane's character is. He's like a drunk alcoholic. He is not in the greatest shape at all, and I don't like that. The screenwriting was so brilliant, man, because they pulled off this way to pick up a heist so realistically where it was like, that could really fucking happen. And it was very smart to have a front where the front in this movie is John McClane is the front, is the revenge of killing John McClane. But actually, he's just trying to steal the gold underneath your nose. Samuel L. Jackson, brilliant fucking acting, and his chemistry with Bruce, spot on. But nothing is gonna be the first Die Hard movie with a 9 out of 10 Sky Gene score. The 1988 John McTiernan Die Hard, the first movie, classic, the best, top 5 action movies of all time. You're not gonna beat that in this franchise. Is that good of a fucking movie?
I was just making a call.
You have the best villain, Alan Rickman, rest in peace, solid as fuck. And the bad guys, you have the best bad guys, hands down. The humor, you have the best one-liner humor in this. It's not the funniest movie. Like I said, the fourth one is the funniest, but this has the best one-liners.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
Your storyline is the best of all franchise. It's him coming back to his wife, his wife, or a divorce, or not divorced, or separated. They're not separating, but then they end up coming together. That's great. I mean, the bad guys, back to them real quick, they were European models, so that's what made them stick out just like any other bad guys, because you're like, wow, these guys look like they're kind of handsome-ish. And then they're wearing like model outfit clothing too, so that's why they really stick out. It does have the second best location, in my opinion, in this franchise, the Nakatomi Building. I absolutely love the Nakatomi Building. Even the word Nakatomi, it sounds so cool. But in the third movie, when they're in New York City, that's the best location for a Die Hard film, hands down. But this is the second best. And you have a lot of funny moments where, like, Argyle, the kid in the limousine and just stuck in the basement, he's just cracking up, having a good time while the fucking mess is around him. I've been that guy at a party. I'm just doing my thing while there's fights and shit going on. Love it. But lastly, reason why this is the best movie is because it is the best fucking Christmas movie ever. Best Christmas movie of all time. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to my rankings. In the comments below, what are your guys' rankings of all 5 movies? Is the original your best? What's your lowest? What's your most enjoyable movie? I mean, Die Hard the first is my first ranking, but I've seen the third one the most, and I enjoy that the most. So, let me know what you guys all think. All right, guys. remember, if you go to jail, don't drop that soap.